This is episode 6 in the Death Guard series, and we're shifting gears from infantry to armour. I'll take you through every step of the process, from base coats and grime to muddy track effects. Let's get stuck in, because it's time to spread the rot in motion. First off, I gave both tanks a solid coat of Halford's Grey Primer. I then hit it with a Death Guard green spray to get that smooth, constant armour base colour on. The green spray really does a lot of heavy lifting in this. I started picking out the metallic parts, like the tracks, wheels and gears, and they got a base of lead belcher. That's easy enough to do on the crawler, but on the Rhino there's a lot more spread out silver. Spikes, smoke launchers, chains, so I had to keep double checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. All the decorative bronze elements like the trim and the chaos icons were painted with Balthazar gold as always, nice and grimy. The Rhino's missile pod got a hit of Mephiston red to make it pop just a little. Just a bit of colour helps break it up from all the green and metal. There are some great little fleshy mutations on the Plagueburst crawler, bits growing out of the gun and even wedged into the gears, so I gave those a base of rack hard flesh. The Rhino surprised me a bit. It actually has more skulls than the crawler has, so I picked out all of those with wraith bone. With all the base colours done, I moved on to shading, and I hit a bit of a decision point. My plan was to just shade the recesses, and I tried that on the Rhino first, but when it dried, it just looked way too clean, not very Nurgle at all. But for the Plagueburst crawler, that thing screams Death Guard. Chunky, corrupted, no mistaking it. But the Rhino still looked like a standard marine vehicle with a few spikes glued on. So I said let me try something, and I shaded the whole crawler with Skeleton Horde, tinned down with lamb medium. It stained everything, the green, the bronze, the skulls, and it looked disgusting in the best possible way. Once I saw how good it looked on the crawler, I knew I had to do it to the Rhino as well. But with so many flat surfaces, I thought Skeleton Horde might be a bit too dark. So I took a chance on covering it with the contrast paint Plaguebear Flesh. It dimmed the green down just enough and gave it that almost green patchy look. Null and oil went on all the silver, and for the fleshy parts I used Gullman Flesh followed by a very diluted cardboard crimson to make it look a little bit more inflamed and infected. Highlights took some time, especially with all that green. I used ochre and camo to edge highlight every bit of armour I could see. Honestly, my hand cramped up halfway through, but it's worth it. This highlight gives the tanks their volume back. For the metallics, I went to Stormhole Silver as I usually do, but for the bronze, I tried something new. I used Runard Brass instead of my usual silver highlight, and I'm glad I did. It gives a richer tone and it doesn't overpower the bronze like the Stormhole Silver can sometimes do. The fleshy bits were brightened back up with rack hard flesh, just gently along the edges. The skulls got a quick dry brush of Ushopti bone to finish them off. I wanted to add some grime onto the treads, so I used Astral Granite to texture the tracks and the gears recesses. I was going to use Sterling Mud, but I was all out. Once dry, I base coated it with Rhinox Hide, shaded it with Agrax Earthshade, and then dry brushed Scrag Brown for a nice muddy finish. This is something I've always wanted to try, hazard stripes, and the top hatch of the Rhino was the perfect spot. I did thin layers of Avalon Sunset on the outer panels and Abaddon Black in the middle. I know some people use tape to get a perfect line, but I just roughly measured it out and eyeballed it from there. Not bad for a first try. Then came the chipping. I used a bit of a sponge to dab on Dryad bark all over the Rhino, followed by lead belcher to show some exposed metal under the paint. Super simple but really effective. And just when I thought I was done, I spotted the Rhino's headlights. A quick fix, I based them with Avalon Sunset, then shaded it with Iandan Yellow. Simple, glowy, and it works. And there we go, 2 fully painted Death Guard tanks ready to roll out and rot the battlefield. I have to say, painting tanks is a different kind of satisfaction. Bigger surfaces, more weathering fun, and that classic Nurgle grunge. And honestly, I don't really look forward to painting tanks, I'm just not interested into them that much. But I really enjoyed painting these two, especially the crawler. But if you like this video, give it a like and drop a comment below. Tell me which part of the tank build you like best, and if you haven't done it already, hit the subscribe button to catch the rest of the Death Guard series. Next episode I'll be moving on to even more corruption, and I've got something truly revolting planned. Thanks for watching, and remember, in the Garden of Nurgle, everything decays in motion.